This is why I never went back to another job at the age of 47 after.
I'm going to be laid off as of today.
I'm one of the lucky ones, but there's a lot of people who aren't so much.
Because the jobs in Ontario are disappearing.
You know what's on my mind? My algorithm right now is full.
Stats Canada just released some shocking numbers of unemployment in Canada.
Jobs were cut in the Canadian economy last month.
Well, 94,000 people to be exact have given up looking for work. Check this out.
Job numbers are out showing a drop in the unemployment and the employment rates.
Welcome back to Canadian Rant, where we don't sugarcoat reality. Today, we need to talk about something that should concern every Canadian. Because behind all the political speeches and economic promises, the numbers are telling a very different story. The latest Labour report is grim. 25,000 jobs lost in just 1 month. 51,000 manufacturing jobs wiped out compared to last year. 75,000 Canadians have completely stopped looking for work. And every single net loss? From the private sector, the very engine that drives real economic growth. Let that sink in. These aren't just statistics on a government spreadsheet. These are paychecks disappearing, families under pressure, dreams being quietly put on hold. For years, Canadians were promised stability, progress, a stronger path forward, especially with our biggest trading partner, the United States. But look around. Factories are shedding workers. Confidence is slipping. Opportunities are shrinking. And here's the truth politicians don't like to admit. People don't live on speeches. They live on jobs. Let's break this down.
This is why I never went back to another job at the age of 47 after losing my job for the first time in 25 years. Remember, for the last 2 months, I've been talking about people making $600 a day. Well, what if you can earn $900 a day from your cell phone? I know. You don't need a following. You don't need any kind of experience. You don't need to know how to use social media. You just need 2 hours a day, Wi-Fi, and access to a cell phone. If you have those things and you don't want to spam your friends and family and you want to learn exactly how to work less and make more, comment me, because what I'm about to show you is gonna change the game. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. Even if you're in your late 40s like me.
I'm going to be laid off as of today. We do have callback rates now. So I'm getting to the point right now, I'm getting older, but I'm looking for something different.
This was my last shift. Yeah, there's no sense in getting stressed out over something you have no control over.
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones, but there's a lot of people who aren't so much.
I hear that the people that are staying have got 32 Saturdays scheduled and 1 week shut down this summer. I wish them the best. And for all those getting laid off, I hope that they find what they're looking for. And when one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah, some people are going, some people are staying, but hopefully they get better luck.
Feel like a lot of people have, I don't know, some sort of resentment.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you just gotta go on, move on, right?
I would like to keep my job, but it is what it is.
I'm considering moving to Alberta for work.
I put the blame on Trump. Just big crybaby.
Because the jobs in Ontario are disappearing quickly. I blame that on the governments, both Canada and US. I just wish Carney would go down to the States and get a friggin' deal, some type of deal made with Trump, so that at least Ontario can be saved. Because right now Ontario is not looking very, very good at all.
Stats Canada just released some shocking numbers of unemployment in Canada. In December, 73,000 Canadians lost their job. Unemployment went up by 0.3%, which puts it at 6.8%. I would like to hear directly from you. I mean, obviously I'm raising children who are struggling with thinking about their future and jobs and even part-time jobs. I hear stories often from young families where their young child can't get part-time work. I'm very curious to hear from you on if this is impacting you. If you want, you can comment below. You can email me. I'd like to share real stories of what these numbers actually translate into human stories. So hello@michellefrary.com is my email, or comment below or message me. But email is always a really effective way to make sure in case I don't see the message. I want to hear from you. How does this impact you?
You know what's on my mind? My algorithm right now is full of job cuts across Canada. Announced today that the government could be cutting 40,000 jobs from the government. A lot of that's due to AI. Question though, what happens to the salaries of those 40,000 people that get cut? Just get absorbed and we continue paying the exorbitant amount of taxes that we already pay? They get redistributed and put back into debt recovery? That's on my mind. Maybe it's on yours. Okay, see you later.
If you're a young person looking for a job in this economy, you already know it's a rough go. It's especially challenging as a newcomer. Unemployment rates are high in Alberta, and it's about 6% higher for youth. Here there are about 25 different employers at this job fair in Northeast Calgary, everything from cleaning to banks. So let's go check it out, see who's here and why.
I think I have applied more than 10 jobs. Yes, but I'm hopeful.
Tell me about some of the variety of employers you've talked to today.
So I talked to cleaning services and also like paralegal, administrative jobs. I even talked to banks and financial institutes. So you kind of just have to be very much open. We don't have the privilege of having such a niche role,
I am applying for customer service, finance, and number of jobs I applied for.
Everybody look at job, none. Apply everywhere. I send my resume everywhere and nobody calling me. I apply for the meat company. I apply for the cleaner job, the home care.
What have you been hearing from your clients, youth and newcomers, about the challenges that they're facing today and trying to find work?
Oh my God, I think we hear a lot of frustration at times. We tell them that, no, your skills, your education, they matter.
What words of advice would you have to someone who's maybe in a situation like you?
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Can you relate to some of those stories? Let us know in the comments.
A new January 2026 jobs report just dropped in Canada. But something in this report doesn't add up. Canada's economy lost 25,000 jobs in January, but unemployment rate improved slightly down to 6.5%. And that's the lowest unemployment rate since late 2024. But it didn't happen because hiring surged. It happened because fewer people are looking for a job. Full-time jobs increased by about 45,000, while part-time jobs decreased almost by 70,000. And again, manufacturing took one of the biggest hits. The number of people working in manufacturing fell by 28,000 in January. So unemployment falling doesn't automatically mean a healthy job market. Now, what does this mean for the economy, for housing, and the upcoming rate revision in March? Drop your comments below.
Job numbers are out showing a drop in the unemployment and the employment rates. According to Stats Canada, employment was down by 0.1% in January, largely from the private sector and in part-time work. Despite the losses, the agency says unemployment, that rate also dropped to 6.5%. StatsCan says this is because fewer people were looking for work in the month.
Today, we got a youth unemployment rate at 12.8%, still quite elevated compared to the headline 6.5% unemployment rate. There actually was some improvement, though, towards the end of last year. And so while the market isn't great, we have seen a bit of progress. Things were up above 14% not too long ago. So a bit of an improvement there, but one where we need more. We need more.
On another note, average hourly wages rose 3.3% annually last month, a tick below December's levels.
Jobs were cut in the Canadian economy last month, but the national unemployment rate actually nudged lower to 6.5%. That's because of a drop in the number of people actually looking for work. These are new numbers provided by Statistics Canada. Let's bring in our business analyst, Chris McCusker. And Chris, obviously, this has an impact on different industries. Which ones were hit the most?
Well, no surprise here because of trade and tariffs, Alan. The manufacturing sector in Ontario was hit pretty hard. The country's most populous province lost 67,000 jobs in the month. This province, of course, home to the auto sector, and just last week, General Motors officially laid off 500 workers at its plant in Oshawa, cutting one of its shifts. Now, across the country, manufacturing jobs have declined by 51,000 since January of 2025.
And with a lot of those people losing jobs in specific industries, I guess some Canadians are looking at retooling and looking for a career change.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I spoke to an economist today, and there might actually be a shift starting to take place in Canada's labor force. StatsCan's additional surveys last month suggested a growing share of workers in industries dependent on U.S. trade are considering a career move in the coming year. Now, this is also the first jobs decline since August, so it still doesn't erase the gains in September, October, November, and December. Immigration has also been scaled back, so that impacts the numbers as well.
So guys, this is massive and breaking news. I told you this was going to happen. The unemployment numbers or employment numbers just came out for Canada for January, and it's exactly like I told you. Even though they were trying to sell you on the fact that we had all these job gains, even though they were all part-time and the majority of them were in Alberta, nearly 100,000 people, 94,000 people to be exact, have given up looking for work. Check this out. So Canada's employment rate fell by 24,800. That's how many job losses there were. But there's something more hidden to the title, where it says the jobless rate is down 6.5%. You see, private sector employment gains are the ones that I think are the most important when you measure employment. Ones that are not sponsored by the government or employed by the government. That number fell by 52,000. And the number of public sector employees saw very little change. Employment fell by 67,000 in Ontario. In Alberta, again, posted job gains of 20,000. And here's the key. While the unemployment rate fell, the number of unemployed people decreased sharply only because the number of people searching for work fell. That means nearly 100,000 people have given up looking for full-time work or work in general. Look back at my old videos. I did it last month, I did it the month before, and I warned everyone. I said the government, I think, is cooking the books. They're trying to paint this picture like we have all these job gains, even though they were all part-time. They tried telling us it was seasonally adjusted. I warned you all. I didn't believe it for a second. I said, wait until January. Wait until January, wait until the new year, and then we're going to start seeing Armageddon. This is what it starts to look like when the truth starts coming out. 100,000 people have literally given up looking for work. Do you guys remember when I made that video and I said Doug Ford is going to be closing down legislature for about 3 months because he doesn't want to be dealing with this in the new year? January, February, March, the job losses are going to be astronomical and he doesn't want to talk about it. Well, here you go. I warned you, I told you, I knew it was going to happen, and I promise you, wait until February, wait until March. The key fundamental issue is that we do not have a trade deal with the US. Carney is going all around the world trying to make deals with everyone except for our number one trading partner. Carney promised us a deal, we do not have one, and things are going to get worse.
Hey Canada, True North Warrior here. Let's talk about Canada's unemployment rate. Now let's get into this. According to StatsCan, 94,000 people have stopped looking for a job. The reason? It's because they can't find work. And since January, Canada's lost 21,000 jobs. And since December of 2025, Canada's lost almost 250,000 jobs. That means our economy is sitting on literal life support. But the Liberals will tell you that the unemployment rate is down. But don't let them gaslight you. The reason the unemployment rate is down is because those 94,000 jobs or people, they don't count against the unemployment rate anymore. And it's not because those people are lazy or they don't want to work. It's because they feel it's not feasible anymore. Now, the Liberal Party, they'll pat themselves on the back, boasting that the unemployment rate is down 0.3%. But don't let them gaslight you. Remember, there are no jobs. But wait, it gets worse. It gets way worse than that. Only 60.8% of people 15 and up are currently employed. And that's disastrous. So remember, when the Liberals start talking about the 6.5 unemployment rate, and how it's the lowest it's been since September of 2024, just remember, it's not because more people are working. No, 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 no. It's because Canadians, they're giving up. True North Warrior.
So we just lost a whole bunch of jobs again. And of course, somehow the unemployment rate fell. Canada lost 25,000 jobs. Unemployment rate falls as job seekers drop. So apparently to be considered unemployed, you have to meet a certain criteria. There's like a couple things that you have to be actively looking for a job. You have to do this, that, and the other, and then you are considered unemployed. But if you've been unemployed for so long that you've just entirely given up on finding a job, well, now you're no longer unemployed. You're just somebody who doesn't have a job. Like if I just made $10 million shorting Bitcoin and just decided to stop working because I didn't have to anymore, I would be unemployed. But I guess at a certain point, you can't really call me unemployed anymore. Maybe I'm, an investor. But anyways, unemployment fell because even though we lost jobs, for all of the jobs we lost, there's more people who are already unemployed that are now not meeting the definition of being unemployed. I talk to a lot of people in construction because I'm from that background. A lot of my friends are still, in that space. And a lot of the conversations I'm having with people is, oh yeah, we got this one job we're working on, but after this, we don't know what's going to happen after this. Or, yeah, we just did a round of layoffs. We laid off 50 people. We laid off this. I had to lay off, a guy who's been working for 10, 15 years. But anyways, from what I'm hearing and what this chart says is that the real unemployment rate isn't 6.5%. It's actually 9.2%.
So what does all of this really mean for the future of Canada? When job losses start piling up, it's never just about employment numbers, it's about confidence. Because once people lose confidence in the economy, everything slows down. Families spend less, businesses stop investing, hiring freezes, growth disappears, and before you know it, a strong economy can begin to crack. But here's what should worry Canadians the most. 75,000 people didn't just lose jobs, they lost hope. They stopped searching altogether. Think about that. When people give up on finding work, it signals something deeper than a temporary downturn. It signals a belief that opportunity is fading, and Canada has always been built on one powerful promise. If you work hard, you can build a better life. So we have to ask a difficult question. Is that promise starting to slip away? Because right now, many Canadians feel like they're running harder than ever, yet somehow falling further behind. Young graduates can't find stable careers. Experienced workers are facing layoffs. Manufacturing, once the backbone of the middle class, is shrinking. This isn't just an economic story. This is a quality of life story. Now let's be clear. Every country faces economic cycles. But leadership is measured not during easy times. Leadership is measured when things start going wrong. Canadians were promised stability. They were promised progress. They were promised a clear economic path forward. And today, many are asking, are we moving forward or slowly sliding backward? Because remember this, a nation doesn't grow when its people are worried about tomorrow. A nation grows when its people feel secure enough to dream about the future. So now I want to hear from you. Do you feel job opportunities in Canada are getting better or worse? Are you more confident about your financial future or less? Go down to the comments and tell me honestly. Your voice matters more than ever right now. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Canadian Rant, because the more we talk about these realities, the harder they are to ignore. Until next time, stay informed, stay vocal, and never stop demanding results, because Canadians deserve more than promises. They deserve a future they can count on,